Welcome everyone to Loud and Pride Orlando. Thank you so much. Your favorite podcast for Orlando City and Orlando Pride. We are live Monday, August the 18th, 6:38 p.m. About 20 people joining us right now, 20 phones or TVs connected to watch us. So we'll definitely appreciate you. I'm happy. Today I'm happy because we have so much good stuff to talk about today, man. I'm so excited. Today I'll be your host, and I'm riding solo today. So, John is having like a family get together. He couldn't join, but he'll be here in spirit. He sends his good regards to all of you, but he'll be back next week. Actually, no, he'll be back on Thursday because we have another pod on Thursday. But today, here at LPO, we're going to be discussing the massive win. OCSC 3, Sporting KC 1. Complete clobbering time by Orlando City. We're going to be talking about OCB, what's happening with OCB, you know. We're also going to be discussing League's Cup quarterfinal, los cuartos de final de la League's Cup. ¡Órale! ¡Órale! ¡Órale, Leones! ¡Vamos, Toluca! Toluca versus OCSC, Orlando City Soccer Club. One of the top teams right now in Mexico versus one of the hottest teams in the MLS. Score predictions and more. Your comments. Stay tuned. We're going to be discussing everything. So we appreciate you. And vamos Orlando. So let's start by talking about, a massive win. A massive win nonetheless. Orlando City, as it is, they've woken up from the slumber. They're looking sharp. It looks like the pieces that the front office has added are very promising. And again, here goes to the doom and gloomers when it comes to signings. The front office knows what they're doing. They've had more success than bad signings in the history of Orlando City since they took over. But on August 16th, 2025, Orlando City hosted the Sporting Kansas City at Inter&Co Stadium in a really terrible weather, but Orlando's used to this. People that live in Orlando thrive on the rain. In a match delayed by over 3 hours due to severe weather. To tell you guys a little bit of a personal story, this match, I had all the intentions when the schedule came out in the beginning of the year. I had all the intentions to cover. Unfortunately, something family happened, and when family needs you, you gotta be there. And so, unfortunately, I couldn't make it to this game, and I didn't know this was going to happen. The game kicked off at 10:43 p.m. Eastern time, and I do want to say, and I did see a lot of posts online. I've seen a lot of videos online. My respect for the ILF, for the Ruckus, for all the cats who stayed over till the end. You guys are the real MVPs, and you guys are the reason why you have players like Spicer, like Nico Rodriguez, finally coming into a club that freaking matters. Finally coming into a club that has a culture that's going to make him play better. This kid comes from a small club in Colombia, Nico. You have Spicer pretty much being shunned by Toronto, pretty much told he's not good enough. He had to find other ways to play. Orlando has always been in Spicer's radar and vice versa. Boom shakalaka, it happened. A deal got done, and look how much that signing is going to be paying off for the Lions. 10:43 p.m. The fans there, the fans chanting, the fans supporting. I'm sure a couple of beers in, a couple of fireballs in, obviously, but instead of unscheduling this match, which they could have done, all you had to do is had the person from communications of one club to the other club talk to each other. The teams will discuss it, and if they deem that this game has to be postponed, it'll be postponed, and everybody goes back to their house. But no, this game got played. It was going to get played, and rain or shine, and it did. So despite the disruption, Orlando obliterated Sporting Kansas City in the second half. A really shaky 15, 20 minutes in the first half. Orlando dominated the second half to secure a convincing and a very convincing 3-1 victory, extending their MLS winning streak to 4 games and their unbeaten run across all competitions to 7 games, which is tremendous. Papien, definitely. I'm sorry, guys. Papien, cheers for that. This result boosted Orlando to 47 points. Tremendous. So they are right now, Orlando City, a top Eastern Conference team. Whether you think that we should have not, we lost silly games, which happens in the game of soccer, whether you believe that Oscar is not the man for the job, whether you believe that the signings are not Messi, are not Ronaldo, are not Kingsley Coman going to the Saudi League, these are things that are making sense and they're clicking for Orlando. Spicer, the upheaval of Nico Rodriguez waking up, smelling the coffee, scoring goals. Martin Ojeda being so influential in the attacking third. It really looks like a complete different team. And I'm really happy to see that. And it showed in this 3-1 victory against uh, Kansas City. So we're going to be reading your comments now, and we're going to be also watching some of the film. So stay tuned. Let's read some comments. JC Beast 95. Spicer's looking good. He plays that he's been there since the start of the season. Yeah. I mean, typically, if you're an OG Orlando fan, my friend, Trinidadians, not only they have great food and they have great music and they have a phenomenal culture. It's a phenomenal country. But every time a Trinidadian plays for Orlando City, they ball out. And I mean, it's just part of our DNA, I guess. So kudos to Kevin Molino, forever a Lion. Appreciate it. Jeffrey O, I couldn't be more excited to see Orlando versus Toluca in LA. Another true test for OC. I wish OC would get invited to play in the Libertadores. I will love that, my friend. I will love. This is my you know pipe dreams essentially for Luis. Okay, Leagues Cup be played on the West Coast. U.S. Open Cup being played on the East Coast. Um, East teams to the U.S. Open Cup. West teams go to the Leagues Cup. It makes just more sense. And when it comes to Conca Champions berth, you give 2 teams, depending on the standings in the overall table. You give 2 teams. One will go to Sudamericana, and one will go to Libertadores, and another one will go to Conca Champions, and another one will go to. So I think it's possible. It's just a matter of discussing it. Do I see it happening anytime soon? Hopefully soon. Hopefully while I'm still alive. But the problem is CONCACAF and CONMEBOL used to work together hand in hand. But now CONCACAF doesn't want to have to do anything with CONMEBOL and vice versa because they feel they're tapping on each other's cash pile. So it's a little bit complicated there. So it's all about money, unfortunately. Josh Stahl, let's go about Nico, Enrique, and Spicer scoring. Spicer had really made a great impact. Also, it was nice to see Spicer and Nico score the first goals. Yeah, Ramiro makes sense. Coming off the bench, being that spark in the attack. I like that. Sometimes our players are tactically need to help you a certain way. I thought Luis Muriel was okay. Obviously we know that he's not going to score in every game. It will be nice for him to score in every game, but he's not going to do that. But it was definitely there's an improvement, and I'll stay with that. F, no John, heartbroken. Well, I'm so sorry, F. Apologize. You have my ugly face here, but cheers to you. All right, more comments. Yes, it does look like a complete different team. There you go. Okay, so let's just watch some film right now. We're about 37 people live. Appreciate your your support in every way. We posted videos and reels and shorts, and the engagement's been tremendous. So definitely, as the person who's doing that for LPO, um, I couldn't be any more not only proud of the work that we're doing, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. So let's go watch some film. Yes, let's go watch some film. They're not gonna copyright me. I pull out my badge. That's why I got a press pass, my friends. So here we go. Let's go and make it a little nicer here. There you go. There you go. Let me go ahead and do it like that. There you go. So this was the lineup for Orlando City. You got Galese, Thor Harlson, which had a really great game to me. Phenomenal. I mean, talk about waiting your turn. Talk about understanding that Freeman right now it's the face of the franchise, and he kind of, you know, coming. He's such a team player, but every time he puts the purple jersey, he transforms into a beast, and I couldn't be any happier for the back line of Orlando City. Obviously nothing's perfect in the sport of soccer, but for sure, they've been delivering tremendously. Rodri Schlegel, super fit, super fit. Robin Jansen, really, aside of Jovic, there's really no one else that could measure up to him in this game. And David Brecalo, phenomenal, man. I mean, this guy's definitely, his signing is paying off right now, for sure. I mean, not a lot. I mean, I'm talking about the injuries, and when he first came, he was still struggling with some injuries. But I mean, his signing is paying off tremendously. And then here you go, the four on the the four right here in the middle. Obviously, as your left winger, you got Tyrese Spicer, which Spicer, man, he spiced it up. I mean, it's a different type of winger than Angulo. He's more vertical. He's a little, I will say him and Angulo can go with speed for sure. And Angulo came in engaged when he was subbed in, and I love that Angulo. He's a player that's definitely gonna open up the score sheet for sure. And we won that Angulo, so I'm glad to see now on the left flank you got some really good competition for him right there. So there's gonna be some games in which you're gonna see Spice Boy joining and playing that wing, and there are gonna be some games you're gonna see Ivan Angulo, and I think it's good to have that depth. On the right, I mean, what can I say about this guy? I mean, Marco Pasalic. I mean, tremendous signing, one of the best signings of the year in the league by far. Edward Atuesta, also Swiss Army knife, Kyle Smith. And then right up top, I mean, to me, what a turnaround of Luis Muriel. I mean, I know people are kind of, you know, saying, "Hey, when's he's gonna score again?" But I think he's doing great. I think he's contributing tremendous in the attacking third. And then Martino Ojeda, I mean, to me, if not the best player in the East, I mean, by far, more better than Messi right now. I mean, I know a lot of Inter Miami fans are gonna have their, you know, are gonna they're gonna put some lipstick on right now. What I'm about to say, but Martino Ojeda is 10 times better than Leo Messi right now. I mean, his history in other clubs, where he comes from, the drive, how influential he is for not only his teammates but for the team in general. The way he attacks, the way he defends, the way he commands the attacking third, it's unparalleled. Messi looks like he doesn't even want to play the game of soccer anymore. He leaves to his car right after the game. So there, it tells you there. On the bench, good to see Joran Gerbet back. For sure, Gerbet is back. I was so happy to see him. Marin as well, Nico Rodriguez, Ramiro Enrique. Look, it's a stacked bench right here. Alex Freeman getting some free time. Ivan Angulo, Sakara Taifi. Super, super proud of Taifi and, his whole story with the team. Guilla Carlos says, I am so happy I was so wrong about Ojeda. There you go. Josh Dahl, I am also glad Gerbet is back. What do you think about Oscar subs? They were spot on. I mean, clearly, I mean, I think Oscar is a type of coach that it's really given Nico the tools to feel comfortable to do his game. and that's why you got him doing that goal. It wasn't the flashiest of goals for sure, but it was in Spanish they call this inventiva, right? He thought this. He didn't practice this. This just came in the span of the game to deflect that shot of Freeman. So he just thought about it and did it. It's instinct. It was a very instinctual goal. So if he did a very instinctual goal, to me means that this is a player that is going to only get better. What are Orlando's chances of winning League Cup? Well, they're pretty good if they beat Toluca. We'll discuss in just a moment. Lit Gaming. Josh Tall. I saw someone say we got after we got married. That means Santos will be gone. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing to say about Santos, right? I mean, he's been one of the players that really has not been able to find a space in Oscar Pareja's squad, and soccer is like that, and sometimes Orlando saw an opportunity of capitalizing, getting some more GAM, hopefully getting another signing here and there. If someone else goes down, or maybe getting some more cash for that Alex Freeman deal, and something's got to give, and at this point, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. And then that's exactly what happened with Mr. Rafa Santos. But anyways, let's watch the first goal of Orlando City. Tyree Spicer, literally right here. Let's watch.
It's great to have you with us. A couple of step overs, playing it in quickly to Ojeda, who had a heavy touch, cuts it back across. Spicer slices it home.
Now, number one,
action on match day 29 alongside Devin Kerr. I'm Nate Bucati. It's great to have you with us.
And then look, in the 1v1, Spicer has, because he has more size than Angulo, he tries to get an advantage. And I'm sorry, but the back line of SKC is just a pancake. And all it takes is just one move, one fade away.
Couple of step overs.
He's out. Passes it to Ojeda. Ojeda asks for the ball. He's like, hey, the ball.
Playing it in quickly.
And then the keeper goes, and he tries to get the ball away from Ojeda.
To Ojeda, who had a heavy touch.
And then obviously the rebound. I mean, he touches his leg. And then, I mean, Orlando City getting a goal from that side from a rebound. It's massive. I think we're getting a really good player. Again, pure instinct here.
Cuts it back across. Spicer
not afraid of shooting the ball. I mean, he was wide open.
Oh.
Maybe if it would have been old Ivan Angulo, he would have passed it back, and then everybody would have been like, why? But maybe John would have been in the wall like, why? Bloody hell, mate, but clearly Spice Boy put it in, man. So happy for him. Look at all the people, man. You know how I'm so happy for this kid? Not only because the people had to wait a long ass time to watch the game and all of that, but more than likely it's just the way he was treated in Toronto. It was not fair. I think he's the number 1 draft pick, and Orlando has a success with all these draft picks. So, great.
Just seconds in to his first ever start in Orlando, Tyree Spicer has fired the home side in front.
You shall receive. You want
one move. You see that little fade?
Has fired the home side in front.
You shall receive.
That little fade, like, broke his ankles right there. And then give him enough space. Look, Ojeda's like, hey, man, like the ball, please.
You want aggression, you want a high line of confrontation immediately imposed by Orlando City. Spicer wants to attack you. He's got speed, but also the one-on-one capability where he could just absolutely...
Yeah, that was perfect. Let's read some comments here. Thank you for all your support. About 38, 39 people live. Miss Francis, thank you, Miss Francis. Scoring has been incredible as of late, and I can't believe we have a positive goal differential. LOL. There you go. Like the great George Michael will say, you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. Just joking. Yeah, Carlos Guilla says, I felt Santos worked well with Duncan. Yes. And that is something that I spoke to some of my good friends from Colorado. And they asked me, hey, what's your overview about Santos? Like, look, number one, he's a great player. He's a great guy, locker room guy. Definitely his tenure in Orlando has been from ups and downs, but I will say that he's had a lot of ups. But he needs a 9 to feed. And unfortunately, those crosses right now, we're playing a little different. So Colorado is in the verge of also getting a pretty good number 9, and they're going to pair him up with him. So I think Colorado is going to definitely, I think he has the options of thriving. If not, there's always Houston Dynamo, where all the old Orlando players go there. David Aubrey, man, what a pay! What a payoff! So glad I stayed to man the wall. Hey, Lewis, thank you for doing what you do, brother. No, I appreciate you, Mr. David. I do it with all the passion and with all the love. So thank to everybody that retweets what I put on, even if it's funny or not. Everybody that likes every video, every comment, it's well appreciated. Josh John, let's keep scoring multiple goals and keep winning for sure. I do want to also talk about a little bit of some of my thoughts on this game. Definitely a spicy start. Definitely a former number 1 overall pick in Major League Soccer. Orlando City capitalized on this signing. Many people said, hey, Heung-min Son just signed for LAFC. What the hell's going on, man? Heung-min Son. I was like, and you get me Tyrese Spicer? Like, okay, well, like, look how he's going to work. Because I have to tell you, not every game is going to be perfect, but I like what I've seen so far for Spicer, and I think he fits the needs of our team. And I think that's the most important thing. The physical skills, what he brings to the left side, it's like an Anguilla with more size and a little bit, not afraid of shooting from distance. So that's great. Again, Orlando needs to get better at giving in to pressure. I just felt like it got into a point. Sporting KC, after the goal, it kind of built up pressure in the middle, and it really, 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 I mean, if they would have been a better team, like a Red Bulls or a Columbus, I mean, we would have definitely perished on a couple of them. They equalized. Mason Toye latched onto a pass, making a run between Rodrigo Schlegel and Robin Jansen. And then, Pedro Galese came out, and Toye got his shot past El Pulpo, and then Jovic, just tapped it in. So Orlando City was lucky to allow only 1 goal. It could have been worse. The first 10 minutes, like Dagger Dan said on the post-press conference, were great. Then 35 minutes after that were shit, complete crap. I felt that we need to get better at that. But then, here where comes the second half adjustments and the tactical savviness of the coach, which comes into. And again, you may want to say, hey, you're kissing his ass and all that stuff. No. I mean, not just because he's a top 3 level coach in the MLS. I mean, he's one of the most decorated coaches in the MLS. Any other team that looks to contend will love to have Oscar Pareja as their coach. So we have to consider ourselves as a small market, Orlando City, really lucky to have such a great coach. I mean, you may want to watch Premier League or South American soccer and believe that maybe that's the way. Look, it's all about knowing where you are, where you stand, who you are as a team, who you are as a club, and where you're going. And I kind of feel that Oscar has something down. Obviously, things may change in the next few games, but I think we're going into the right path. The changes that Pareja made were perfect. I mean, coming with Alex Freeman coming in and taking out Kyle Smith, and then Dagger Dan going to D mid, and then kind of do that double pivot with Atuesta, which I think it worked really great. I think Dagger played both positions pretty good. Um, and that opened up Freeman to cause more danger and to become more of an attacking threat than a defending threat. And I just thought that Thorholson there in the mid was a really good tactical adjustment for Oscar, and good for him. And then obviously, what can you say? Muriel entered the match pretty good. He could have had a couple of goals. He did not score Saturday. Um, Ramiro Enrique came in, and what can I say? I mean, he was tremendous. So let's read some more comments, and then we're gonna go and watch the rest of the goals here. Big thanks to all the fans who stuck around late. You rock. The true 12th man. Yeah, for sure. 110%. Mr. Ruben Paris with his comment. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. I mean, coming from you imagine what Spicer thinks about Orlando now after seeing that. You coming from, I mean, not to be a not to be a hot dog, but just to say, coming from Toronto where it's cold, you got bad rappers like Drake, and you know a team that's really has no direction, and the way he was treated and the fans abandoning in minute 60, to seeing passion, heat, like a coach that's motivated, that's talking to you, that's engaged, a fan base that's like 10:43 p.m. They're like, I don't care, I'll stay. Like, I'll stay. I'm doing it for my team. Like that it's night and day. You talk about that with Rodri Schlegel. I had the opportunity to talk to Rodri Schlegel personally. Had the opportunity to talk to a lot of the players, and that's one thing that they really, really embrace. When they go to other places within the MLS, they don't feel the same atmosphere as they feel at home. And that's part of our DNA as a club. So good for the Lions there. JCP's 95. I know this forces Angulo taking more shots. He positions himself well, but always goes for the extra pass. That's an amazing comment. JC, thank you, my friend. You're completely right, dude. This is just going to make Angulo better. We may be on the verge of seeing, Eastern Conference Final Angulo, and having Spicer be carving it up like this. I think we're good on the left side now. You and think about it. Next year, you're gonna have people like Cartagena. Obviously, his deal is up. I don't know if the club's gonna want to renew him. More than likely, they may offer the minimum. You have Yutaro Sukada as well coming back. So now we have to find somebody from the right, which we already have Nico Pasalic and and then Ojeda here and there when he fills up. So I think the team is looking really good. So let's see the second goal, and appreciate you all. And then we'll discuss after that. We'll go into. I don't want to watch KC's. Hold on, let's watch KC's goal right here. Let's watch KC's goal. What happened here? Right here.
He's thirsty for a goal, going 3 matches without one after scoring in 7 straight.
Mason Toy is his.
Okay, so Brecalo, and you have Schlegel, and you have Jensen right there.
Running partner, trying to find a way to stretch the field a bit for him. Joveljic has had some frustration over that run as well, Nate, to try and go and chase the game a little.
For multiple trophies still this year, Leagues Cup being one of them.
Yeah, they were out of position. Toye is faster. At that point, he won the position over Brecalo.
There's a ball through for Toy. Toy into the penalty area. The keepers come out. Toy gets it past the keeper, but also past the post.
See, that could have been a 1-1, 100%. Those are the type of things that we need to definitely, a better team will capitalize on this.
And then start to exploit. He drops into
You see? Like
the pocket and rotates out as that.
So Brecalo is thinking about number 93. Number 93 is taunting Brecalo to go forward. So Brecalo wastes his time kind of going towards 93. And then he's like, hey, and then Toye or whatever, he gets in the middle and he's much faster.
Comes through. That's where the space starts to open up. Toye does a really good job.
There was nothing Pedro could do there, but I mean, it's just
that's the back shoulder run you're looking
so
for.
Unlucky right there.
Basson. Still Basson. Toye. Saved by Galese.
That's another
and turned
save
away
right
by
there.
Thor.
They left him pretty open.
Saved by Galese. And turned away by Thorhalsen.
See, those are the 10-15 minutes that Dagger on post press conference when saying that they were shit. That's those moments. I mean, SKC could have gone 2-1 in less than 2 minutes.
Jovic.
You see, they're right there.
Does well to control. Slides it through for Toye. Once again, Toye around the keeper. Toye, and it's put in by Jovic.
Now, if Galese would have
does well to control. Slides it through for Toye.
Like if Galese would have gone with his feet or with his arms, would have been a penalty kick. It's just takes skill. I think Toye was better positioned there, and he was faster and was able to take the chance.
Once again, Toye.
They were both Brecalo and Schlegel vulnerable. Galese vulnerable.
Around the keeper, Toye, and it's put in by Jovic.
Great goal.
Sporting Kansas City answer.
And Pedro gets upset. Yeah, Pedro gets upset. Okay, so let's go into the second half, and let's watch the other goals right here. There you go. Let's watch this. This is where Nico gets ready to come in. Nico gets ready to come in right here. We're in the 74th minute. Now Angulo comes in super fresh. Tremendous. Look at that. Look what Angulo and Dagger are doing here.
Angulo wins it back.
Like he does that pass. He does it with the outside of his foot. Super crafty. Really hard to do. He does it with the outside of his foot like that. Not with the inside of his foot. It's pretty crafty.
He gets it to Ojeda. Ojeda.
And just look at that, man.
Cuts it across. Enrique! Once again off the bench, the Argentine, Ramiro Enrique, with a massive goal for...
Once you break the deadlock, it motivates some players to just take the deadlock out completely and throw it away in the trash. And that's exactly what happened here with Orlando. Orlando had a lot of chances at that point. You're talking about 30 minutes in the second half, getting closer to minute 80. Time was ticking, and I don't think the fans would have appreciated a draw. And this goal motivated for the rest to unfold.
Orlando City.
Touchline, bottom side of your screen. It's the
But just look at the pass from Angulo to Ojeda, bro. Like, look at that. Look at that pass.
Sure, we just talked about.
So silky, man. Bah. It's like playing pool. Boom.
Dagger Dan Thorhalsen, the ability to
right there, and they had no chance.
Then create strength in numbers on the inversion by Ivan Angulo. The 1-2 punch. Ojeda, he wants to work it back to his left foot, but instead smartly releases on his weaker right foot, draws the back line away, and then just individual brilliance by Ramiro Enrique.
And then this is the second
Here's
goal,
Enrique
I believe.
again.
So look how Ramiro is so much shorter than the center backs, and he's still physically better than they are.
Now out to Westa. Right at the keeper this time.
Understand the ripple effect that is the change. You have the highlight. Oh, the problem is they've still lost control.
Now look at that pass from Atuesta
In the midfield, and too many balls like that are coming back through. The midfield three need better communication to hold positions.
Look at this. Right here. Beautiful long pass from Atuesta to Martin Ojeda that finds Alex Freeman.
Ojeda finds Freeman.
And then on the 1v1, Freeman lately it's been a little iffy. And he finds the kind of like the trajectory of the shot. But already Nico right there sees Freeman in the way he's shooting the ball. He knows there's going to be a rebound. The way the defender pretty much has his foot right where the ball's going to go.
Freeman.
And look, like he saw it. And all he did was just tapped it in. That's just instinctive. You know, so good for him, man. Because not for nothing, he's in Orlando. He's in the MLS. This was an instinctive goal. He took advantage of it. And
it's blocked, and it falls right to Rodriguez, who slots it home.
And then for that, obviously, everybody was completely happy and stoked. And, you know, at this point, they put the game away. Tremendous showing for all the attack. When it comes to the power rankings, MLS power rankings for this game, Orlando City is, I'm going to put the Sports Illustrated article here. Right here. Thank you guys for your support. Drop us a thumbs up. We are loud and proud Orlando. Check us out if it's your first time. So DC United, probably the worst team in the MLS. You know, when we get to play them, we have to beat them. Unfortunately, LA Galaxy, I have a mad love for the people from LA Galaxy. Don't, you know, and, you know, we're going to be talking about Dignity Park in just a moment, but terrible season as well. St. Louis City, all of that. And then here are the Nashville is 10. They went down a little bit. Obviously, with Heung-min Son, you know, at 9, LAFC. Charlotte is number 8. Vancouver Whitecaps is number 7, which I saw this game because there's a Peruvian player that's playing in Vancouver now, Kenji Cabrera, and he did really good, by the way. And Mueller, man, he got an offside goal denied. It was tremendous. And Houston play with the Junior Urso, play with Antonio Carlos, which allowed a goal. And yeah, a lot of the old OCC. Mikey Holiday came off the bench. Yeah. Inter Miami number 5, Philly Union 4, and here you go, Orlando City 3 with a picture of Nico Rodriguez. You know, and it says here, I'm going to read it verbatim. The good times keep rolling for Orlando City this weekend with a dominant 3-1 win over Sporting Kansas City to extend their win streak to 4 games. Tyrese Spicer opened in the scoring in the first 2 games with his first contributions. He's being acquired from Toronto FC, and the match saw stand-up performances from Ramiro Enrique and Martin Ojeda. Ojeda in particular has continued to prove himself as one of the most essential pieces in MLS. In MLS, not just Orlando City. Just keep an eye on that. Often dropping back from his strike partnership with Luis Muriel to aid in the Lions build-up. In his last 10 matches in all competitions, he has 8 goals, 6 assists. Orlando City as strong as ever this season under head coach Oscar Pareja. I repeat, Orlando City as strong as ever this season under head coach Oscar Pareja. Hashtag Papien. And we'll hope the qualities of Ojeda, Muriel Enrique, and Eduardo Atuesta, Marco Pasalic, and others can help him capture the League's Cup and make an MLS Cup run. It will be amazing. It will be tremendous. It will be such a full circle moment if Orlando can aspire to win not only the League's Cup and then going for that MLS Cup run. the purple and gold are back on the pitch versus Toluca in the League's Cup, right? So, great article about Sport Illustrated. Put us on really high up in the rankings. So it was a tremendous game. Now, Orlando City, to me, not only the tactical adjustments work at halftime, the superior bench impact that Orlando had in this game, the relentless second half pressure for the Lions. I feel like in the first half they struggled with shape and connectivity. Their sequences weren't right, and that really made SKC grew in momentum and exploit some spaces and then equalize and had those little blunders that we saw. The team, Pareja said on the post press conference, I have it written down here, we adjusted lines and movements in the middle. There you go. And then it led to a dominant second half performance in which they outshot SKC 12-4. 12-4. So tremendous. Now, I'll be honest with you. I mean, Oscar Pareja decisively won the tactical battle between Kerry Savagnin, the interim coach for SKC. I think the way he has the team working like clockwork is tremendous. It kind of grabbed it a disjointed first half team that was a little bit disjointed in the first half into a really commanding second half, and that tells you that he's a coach that's able to throw the first plan he had away and then rebuild the second plan. And I think the second plan here worked, and tremendous. So Pareja's experience in managing squad rotation, I feel, also give him a little bit of the edge with Spicer coming in the first half and having his debut. Nico as well. It was his 100th MLS win for Papi and with Orlando. So congrats to El Profe Oscar Pareja. Again, what's next? We're going to be talking about Toluca in just a second, but is Orlando City a contender? You bet you are. You bet you are. We're a contender. Sitting fourth in the East with 47 points. Tied for third, but ahead on goal difference. 7-0 run right now, unbeaten across all competitions. We slayed not only the Rowdies, but we also slayed Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, Inter Miami, with a 7-1 aggregate sweep. So, it's been tremendous. Yes, in soccer, in a league like MLS, which is very physical, very demanding league, nothing's perfect. But once you see things grinding and moving the way you want to, like what's happening now in Orlando in this great momentum, it doesn't hurt not only to be positive, not only to drink the Kool-Aid, not only be a goody two-shoes, but to give all your spirit bomb energy to the team because they're going to need it. Why be a Debbie Downer? Why cry? Why be passive aggressive? Do not do that. I see it all the time. And I think that the team is proving they're outperforming your expectations, whether you feel like it's not at certain times. They're outperforming expectations. I wish the Magic will play with this drive in basketball. I wish the Solo Bears for once will win something in their freaking life with that drive. Plus 18 goal difference, third in the MLS. We are okay, guys. Let's enjoy the ride, keep supporting, and literally, accentuate the good and let's work on the bad. We're going to talk about the bad, but we're not only going to focus on the bad. You imagine how bad the show would be if I would just sit here and say, it'd be like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Oh, bother. That sucks, man. We suck, bro. Yeah, bother. Oh, bother. Oh, Orlando. Fudge. It'll be so boring. So boring. I definitely am not that type of person. Depth reliance, good. Injuries, people coming back from injury. Duncan maybe coming back very soon too. There's no more thigh on Gervais. Those are good things to think and to build upon. And I'm happy to be talking to y'all about this right now because I feel Orlando City, it is a contender. I'm not smoking up. I'm not smoking anything. It numbers wise makes sense. Now, what do they need to do to win the Supporter Shield? Keep winning. Treat, and I stay by what I said on that short that they did for LPO. I say it. Treat every game as it is a final. And I think if the boys get used to playing each game as it is a final, these are the type of stories we're gonna be seeing because they're gonna be locked in. I have a feeling that we can definitely, if we keep up this shape, this form, we can go toe to toe with the Cincinnati's, with the San Diego's. We can certainly do that. Right now, the next beast to slay, whether we like it or not, is a really tough one, and it's Nashville. I think Nashville is going to be a really tough opponent. Not only have mad respect, and I love Johnny Cash, but like, you know, um, it is what it is, man. I'm a big Zimmerman fan, but I think beat direct rivals. That's what's next for the Lions. Nashville and Columbus. So let's go for the ride. And I think you guys get my mojo here. Let's see. I know more comments. No more comments. All right, so let's talk about Orale. Orale Leagues Cup. Vamos. Well, let's talk about the Leagues Cup because we are on the verge right now on playing another game for Leagues Cup quarterfinals between Toluca and Orlando City. Toluca, Club Deportivo Toluca. I do want to say Club Deportivo Toluca, a tremendous soccer team. Obviously, one of the most respected teams in Mexico, and a team that had one of the best strikers I've ever seen in Liga MX, Cardoso. I remember when I first came into the States, he was really hot in Toluca, and Telemundo will always pass Mexican soccer usually, and I remember watching Cardoso, and I remember Cardoso when he would play for Paraguay, and he was such a freaking nightmare, man. So that's how I kind of remember Toluca. It's a really good team. Right now they're fifth in their league. They have an average squad age of 27 years old, so they're very comparable to us. They already won the CONCACAF Champions League. They've also won the CONCACAF Champions Cup. They also won 4 times El Campeón de Campeones in Mexico, and they also won. They're 3 times Liga MX champions and 5 times. I believe there's another. Hold on, let me see. 5 times Clausura champions. So they've won the Mexican Championship 3 times, and they've won 5 times Clausura and 3 times Apertura. Which I don't know. I don't know why they have cups for Clausura and Apertura. Well, that's fine. It's okay. They also won 2 times their Mexican Cup winner, which is kind of like the U.S. Open Cup for them. So it is a very decorated team in Mexico, in which we have to come and definitely play with a lot of respect. But lately, we've been able to overcome these type of teams, And right now, the gap between Liga MX and MLS is closing. It's narrowing because these whole. And I'll be honest with you, this is a very unorthodox view of this, but I hope you guys will understand. And I'm not trying to. I speak my opinion. It might not be John's opinion or Paula's opinion, but in my opinion, I feel like when you face MLS with Mexico all the time, it truly benefits. To me, more benefits the MLS. The MLS. in this League's Cup, they are, they're coming hotter, and it's really not so much benefit Mexican soccer, if anything, because of their own situations at their country. Their league is being heavily affected. There's no pro rel anymore. Their second division is in shambles, in which the MLS has a path of putting young starlets into teams, and they're building up their national team to be a little more competitive and going to Europe. Mexico's kind of falling down a little bit when it comes to that. When's the last, aside of Santi Jimenez, when's the last good Mexican striker you've seen? So it's I feel like things gotta change. I feel like Mexico, it will probably benefit them to also go play in South America, because this whole Mexico MLS alliance, it's, to me, I feel like when it comes to the level of play, is benefiting the MLS more. And now with the addition of owners having the money to heavily invest in teams, and heavily put money in, and not only wanting to just get good players, like maybe Jorge Mas and Inter Miami or LAFC, but you have owners like, for example, Mr. Welf, or like the Cincinnati owner, that they want to actually make the soccer in general grow, as a model, more grassroots model. You don't get that same of care, dedication, trying to improve the game in Mexico anymore. I feel like they kind of feel like they are superior in every level than even many South American countries when it comes to their soccer, and they just kind of gotten a little stagnant. And it sucks because, unfortunately, they do have a lot of good teams. But this quarterfinal is going to be played at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, which is the home of the LA Galaxy. Look, I I think this is a really dumb rule, but it does make sense for them, because there's going to be more Toluca fans in Carson than there's probably going to be in Kentucky or in Nashville. So it makes sense, but it just sucks for Orlando to do the whole entire travel all the way there. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You can back out of it. Toluca earned the hosting city rights to be because they were the top seeding in the tournament as the reigning Liga MX champions, and they had a really strong performance in the group stage. So all the games have to be played in USA or Canada to prioritize the MLS infrastructure. That's part of the law there. And so Toluca selected Dignity Health Sports Park. So it's a neutral site, but they have massive home advantage. I mean, I guarantee you, there's going to be so many Diablos there. They call themselves the Diablos, the Devils. So it's gonna be packed, I'm sure. Now, players to kind of look into. Obviously, goalkeeper Thiago Volpi. Um, uh, you have Paulinho. Paulinho, I think they're their head, the starting striker. You have also Gelinho on the right. You have also Vega, which Vega plays in the Mexican national team. So they're one of the best Mexican teams. They're going to be playing a pretty good squad. So right now, I feel like Toluca hasn't really faced the best competition when it comes to MLS. They've only beat MLS teams by 1 goal, and this Orlando team comes hot. So Helino is going to be returning. He had a little bit of a knock. He's going to be returning. He also, you know, they are going to. They feel like are in a stronger momentum just because they won the Clausura title. You know, it was the first Liga MX championship since 2010, right? And they've are completely undefeated in Leagues Cup. So just with that, people down west are saying that they're coming with a better momentum, but obviously it's because they don't really watch so much what's happening with Orlando. Clearly, Toluca, based on their history and who they are, um, especially playing out west, they're definitely heavily favored to win. But Orlando is definitely not New York. It's definitely not the other teams it faced. And I have a feeling that, you know, Orlando can pull an upset. You know, they have to continue with their high pressing style to disrupt Toluca's, possession with Ruiz and Angulo and Vega, right? Also, Martin Ojeda needs to stay hot. You know, he has had 6 goal contributions in Leagues Cup alone. Also, the bench. The bench is going to be huge. Spicer coming in, spice things up, or Angulo of the bench, Ramiro Enrique with the same impact. So this is a game that could definitely go into penalties also. So hopefully the team is, practicing some penalties. So right now, Toluca, from my understanding, is they're not really missing any players. So they're going to be coming with their full squad right now. And Helinho right now, which is one of their forwards, he's one of the top scorers when fit. He has nagging injuries. He's a right winger, 4 goals and 2 assists. You also have Marcel Ruiz, a 90% passing accuracy. So he's like their Atuesta, right? So he's like their Atuesta. So he's the guy who puts all the balls behind the defensive blocks. So right now, when it comes to Oscar and Renato Paiva, which is the DT of Toluca, obviously Oscar Pareja hasn't won titles like Renato Paiva, but I do feel like Pareja is very aggressive when it comes to pressing and to riling up their teams, and it kind of motivate. He works better when he's the underdog, so it's a really good fit with Pareja's intensity, late intensity right now with his squad against a very structured Toluca that they always do their 4-2-3-1, like very disciplined tactically. And literally it's going to be Atuesta and Cesar, or Atuesta and Dagger versus Ruiz and Romero. And that's going to be the battle. It's a battle of the mids, in my opinion. I think is whoever wins that battle, I think is going to open a can of worms, and then Orlando can definitely capitalize on that. So let's see what it entails. I have some, we can watch some goals from Toluca right now. Thank you for all your support. And we're going to be talking about OCB in just a moment as well. Right here. Let's see.
It doesn't matter which Inyo, they are causing you a
So that's Pauline
problem in all likelihood.
Combining with one another in order.
And so they face NYCFC with a 4-2-3-1 with obviously Perea and Shane and O'Neal. Like, obviously Toluca has a better mid right there, an H-down Morales, Perea that he only plays good when it's against Orlando, and then O'Neal, which is probably one of the best there. Yeah, look at that right there. So they just let him shoot. Look, all that open space. They score the equalizer right here. So this is Helinho. This is one of their best players, the right winger. So he's gonna be meshing really well against Brecalo. Right there with the left.
For the amount of defending that New York has done.
He already sees. And I mean, New York, their defense is bad. So that was a draw there, and then let's look for the second goal of Toluca. Goalkeeper, that's the best thing they got there in New York. But like honestly, look, 3 passes, a car. Like we've seen this happening against Orlando, so we just gotta be disciplined. We can have them hit us on a counter like that, because it can definitely cause some damage. So that's Toluca. We're gonna be facing them. My prediction. I am gonna say it. It's gonna be a 2-1 win, Orlando City. 2-1 win, Orlando City. I don't think it goes to penalties. So 2-1 win against Orlando, against Toluca. 2-1 win, Orlando. Yep. Hopefully we see some Luis Muriel magic for sure, and hopefully we make it to the quarterfinal. If we go into the quarterfinals and let's say we beat Toluca, this is what the scenario could be right here. So you're looking at facing the winner between Inter Miami and Tigres, 2 teams that we have quite a bit of history with. So it's going to be interesting of seeing that 100%. So Tigres or Inter Miami, I'm excited either way. I would love to face Tigres, if you ask me. I'm kind of done with the whole Inter Miami thing, to be honest with you. I would rather face Tigres. I think it'd be cool for us to eliminate Tigres. We were so close last time to make that happen. But hey, if Inter goes through, then we'll face Inter. Then again, we gotta demonstrate why Orlando and Florida in general is purple. So we're not afraid here. We're not afraid. Anyways, what's happening with OCB? OCB faced Columbus Crew 2 in an MLS NEXT Pro match and ended in a 2-1 loss for OCB. They held a lead until the final 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes they lost everything. So Carlos Mercado was their starting goalkeeper. Tahiri Brown, the defenders with Thomas Williams, Colin Gusky, Judelson played also, Shaq Mohammed, Justin Ellis, Fabian Loyola, and Thales as well. What I can say about this game, it was just a very bad game overall for both teams. I just felt both teams try to be FC Barcelona. They all were doing the tiki-taka. No one was creating as many really clear chances. OCB had a couple of opportunities through Justin Ellis. In the 10th minute, there was a shot that was saved. And then Shaq Mohammed in the 11th and 25th minute. But then Columbus responded also with some of their shots as well. So the first half ended 0-0, and it's just, the goalkeepers weren't even sweating, to be honest with you. And in the second half, it just became, 49th minute, OCB, boom, took the lead. And then after that, it was all Columbus. For minute 70 all the way down to the 90. A bad result for the Lions for sure. I honestly, OCB is struggling. It's been very inconsistent season for them. Unfortunately, they rank mid to the lower in the Eastern Conference standings. A negative 15 in goal difference, 30 goals scored, and 45 goals conceded in the MLS NEXT Pro. They are outside playoff contention, so if they keep sharp declining, I highly doubt that they'll make the playoffs this year. It's been like a lot of defensive frailties, a lot of defensive blunders. They're blowing leads in the last 10 minutes. it's just players. I understand they're young and they're learning, and it's part of the culture. They just gotta, I don't think this is the back line for Orlando City. I think if they're conceding too many goals, something's got to change for next season for sure. They also show a little bit of an inability to close out games. Either it's lack of depth, it could be attributed to that because they're with the first team, fatigue and all of that. But, it's just the inability of close games sometimes, like going one whole entire half with like 4 key chances and no goals is pretty bad. So again, it's flash. There's flashes of potential for every single player in OCB, but right now it's really not the best moment. And I wish them that they could definitely improve and hopefully make playoffs. I wish them all the best, and hopefully in their next game they're able to show the great team that they are. Now we already talked about Crew and OCB score. We did a score predictions. Toluca and OCSC. Let's see how many more comments do I have. JCB, Steno forces Angulo taking more shots. He positions himself well, but always goes for the extra pass. Let me take a look at see if somebody left a comment on our X. Usually people do. So spicy gnocchi. There you go. I knew you were gonna do it. I knew you were gonna say something spicy. Gnocchi. Can we talk about club or ownership at least paying for key lead supporter group people from the Lion and Ruckus drums being able to fly to Carson for the game Orlando versus Toluca? Our boys will be there with no support, with 20,000 Mexicans yelling Pluto. I'm not gonna say that word, but because well, you know what you mean, Pluto. And there's a band called Molotov. They're from Mexico. They have a song called Pluto. If you know what I mean, if you take the L out, you make it there. But it will be nice. It will be nice if they're able. Some of the ILF and Ruckus make it there, but it is a long ass. It's a long ass flight. It's an expensive flight. I could tell you, and accommodations ain't cheap over there. So I don't know. I think the boys thrive against all odds, and so I feel like they're gonna be okay. I think they have what it takes to get this result. This will be a massive win. This would be right now, based on the momentum of Toluca, guys. It would be like when Orlando almost beat Tigres. Like, how people in Mexico were talking a lot about Orlando and how come Orlando? Because at that time, Tigres was really hot. And this year, Toluca is very hot. They have a really beautiful jersey, I do want to say. They have really good jerseys. I think one of the best jerseys in Liga MX. So kudos to Toluca. I think Toluca is going to be a great rival. Nothing but respect for la gente del Toluca, los mexicanos, los hermanos mexicanos. I have a lot of respect for people from Mexico and their league as well. So it's going to be a fantastic game. Hopefully Orlando comes on top. I know they will. So, and anyways, I wanted to thank you all for the support. I want to kind of show you a couple of things that we're working on. Obviously, when it comes to John, don't forget to subscribe to Forever a Lion. I think he has a really good interview with Scott Sutter. Don't forget to check us out on Loud and Proud Orlando on our X right here. We have the Pride Pod coming up in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned for the Pride Pod. It's going to be a quick Pride Pod. Also, don't forget to check me out. This is my own personal X account. So right here, you can find me, Pineda_ORALE. Also on YouTube, you can check us out right here. We are Loud and Proud Orlando. right here. Orlando City destroy SKC. We have the Pride Pod coming up next. We have all our Pride Pod, City Pod episodes here, shorts, Pride Pod, post game pressers. So I wanted to thank all of y'all who are watching our content, because y'all are what makes us keep pushing and working very hard to improve. More than likely, we're gonna be throwing out a get together soon for some of the fans of LPO. I know that John's been working on that, so stay tuned for that. Maybe some merch for LPO. We'll see. We're thinking about that. And next season will be even better. So we like to always raise the bar. And I think with John and Paula, we're doing tremendous, and I can thank them enough. They're some of my best friends. So it's good to do things with people that you truly care about. So it's amazing. And also with you guys, because if you guys get to know a little bit more about me when it comes to Forever a Lion and that interview I did with John. And again, this is for y'all as well, and we're going to continue growing. And so subscribe, tell your friends. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well on audio form. Stay tuned for more LPO. We're definitely going to be back on Thursday, and stay tuned for the Pride Pod as well. I want to thank Ruben Paris, his great analysis, Lewis. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you to JCBs, to Josh Stahl, to Mr. David Albury, to Guilla Carlos, to Miss Francis, to Lit Gaming, to Josh Stahl, to JCBs, to Jeffrey O, to F, to Juan Garcia. Thank you to everybody. And again, stay tuned for more Loud and Proud Orlando. We're going to continue doing our best, providing the best content possible. And again, a 3-1 win. 3-1? 2-1 win. 2-1 win against Toluca. And vamos, Orlando. Have a good one. Vamos, Orlando. See you guys in the Pride Pod.